Hello guys, it's Max here. As you can tell by the title, we're going to take a look at into the future of football using Football Manager. Special thanks to the Northern man whose channel will be in the description along with the download link as this is his game database. As if I was to sim 100 years on Football Manager, it would take 100 years in real life because my laptop is that bad. But enough about that, let's just get straight into the video. I thought, obviously there's a few things we've got to look at 100 years, like how the Wonder Kids turn out of this year's Football Manager or in real life. Um, I said if you've never played Football Manager, you don't really need to play Football Manager to understand this video. It's a bit, I say it's accurate. There's some silly stuff happening in this game, but I think it's the most accurate footballing footballing game out there, and I think professional clubs are starting to use its actual scouting system on game. But yeah, firstly, we'll take a look at, say, the Premier League. So as you can see, we are at the Premier League. The reason why I will be doing jump cuts like that is because I am, say, 100 years into this game. It takes a good minute to sort of click on things. Like if you're changing, say, if I wanted to click on the Serie A, it would take about a minute. But once we're on the screen, it should be all fine, really. So we can take a look. Not very many big surprises. Well, I suppose Leicester winning the league 100 years later. United still up there. Liverpool near the relegation zone. I think quite a few. I think Liverpool might have gone down in the 100 years. You never know. Norwich, Arsenal, Nottingham Forest. The biggest, I suppose, is Blackpool, considering where they are in real life. They must have climbed up well. We can take a look at past award winners. How can I do that? Bear with. Stats. Past winners, here we go. So we see Leicester. Leicester are quite a dominant force, to be fair. Let's go right back to 2016. So Arsenal won it for the next 4 years. I assume that's still under Arsene Wenger. Then it sort of went between the top teams, and then in 2033, West Brom win it. I wonder who that was under. Apart from West Brom again, it doesn't look like Liverpool won it, so they still haven't got a Premier League title to their name. Newcastle win it a few times. West Brom again. Sheffield United. Leicester look like the dominant team. Have they got any? They've got a striker called Alan Victor, valued at 55 million. Obviously, the players are going to be regens, because if they're not regens, they're going to be 100 years old. His career stats: he's Brazilian. Yeah, he scores goals, to be fair. Not sure whether I'd pay 55 million for a 20 goals in 33 games. That's not bad at all. Anyway, so that's the Premier League. We can have a look at records, see if there's any records smashed. So Leicester City, 99 points in a season in 2109 to 10 season. Man United have won it 54 times. Fewest points, that's in real life. 10 from Stoke in the 1890. That's terrible. Ooh, 10 points. Anyway, most wins. Arsenal, that was only a couple years after. Well, that's about 2 to 3 years' time. Most wins in a season, 32. Fewest wins, we all know Derby had that shocker of a season. Highest attendance, 94,000. Doesn't look like Old Trafford's gone up that much. That was in 2037. Now this is interesting. I mean, I know that game doesn't exactly appeal to you, but looks like it was one of the first games of the season. 2,500 people attended. Awful. Most games won in a row, 21 from Arsenal again. Most goals conceded, that was in 1930. Worst discipline, 10 red cards, 91 yellows. Highest average rating, Ellen and Bomb, 8.41 in 31 games, that's fantastic. Yeah, he's retired. 150 goals in 330 games. For an attacking mid-left, he would have cost a lot. He'd have cost a lot. Right, what's next? So that's the Premier League. Germany or Italy? Dun, 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 dun. We'll go to Germany. And there will be a bit of a delay. There will be a bit of a delay, so I'll see you in a bit. As you can see, it looks like they've wiped out the table from previous seasons. So we don't really know who won it this league. This time, I'd imagine Bayern have absolutely dominated. The only teams I sort of don't understand is Kaiserslautern, Gerther Fürth, and Nürnberg. But as you can see, this is quite interesting. It says the Liga A is the most reputable league in the world at the minute. Second Premier League. That is interesting because right now everyone sort of takes the mickey out of League One for being such a poverty league. Because you can just see that, for instance, Falcao's having a great season, Balotelli's having a great season, Talvin, Newcastle reject, is one of League One's best players. But let's have a look at past winners, see if it is just Bayern. No, it's not. It's really not. Dortmund. Looks to me like it's all Dortmund. Yeah, Leverkusen, Dortmund. That's interesting, that. Dortmund. Jeez. And then Borussia Mönchengladbach won it this year. It's interesting. Records. Most games without winning. 34 games without winning. 34 games. Bloody hell. Most games lost in a row. 18. Most goals in one season. Gerd Miller was back in 1970. They 40 goals. Jesus. Worst discipline. 4 red cards in one season. My God. Most player of the match is 15. And he played 34 games. It's incredible. Youngest goal scorer, 16 years, 248 days. If you see anything, point it out, because I could be just missing blatant stuff that's in front of my eyes. That's incredible. I suppose let's go to the Syria. Nearly typed in Calcia A. I've been playing FIFA too much. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, there we go. It's getting a bit quicker, to be fair. Calcia A. Juventus won it. Again, that just looks like the same sort of teams. Napoli, Juventus, Roma, Napoli. What it's saying is not a lot's changed, apart from the Prem, to be fair. Leicester look like they're the dominant force now. But past winners in Syria. Juventus. Yeah, they've dominated again. Roma a few times, Inter a few times, but It's all Juventus. All Juventus. Most points in the season, Juventus, that was 3 years ago. Juventus, 3 years, three league titles away from 100 league titles. If you want to pause the video, some more statistics there. And I suppose Liga BBVA is the last one. I think it's called the Spanish First Division. Holders Real Madrid. It's not surprising, I suppose. But yeah, right, well, here we go. So Real Madrid have won it this year by 5 points. Goals only 25. That's quite surprising, 25. I mean, I suppose right now I'm used to Messi and Ronaldo getting 40 goals a season. 25 is not that much at all. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is any shocks there, but I suppose it is, to be honest. These three, these two, sorry. Obviously, these two are going to stay there. It's interesting to see if any of those sort of teams, like if it's just been Barca Real, Barca Real, Barca Real, or Atletico. Valencia have got one there. Coruna. Bilbao, that's a great achievement for Bilbao, but that is not... I'm an idiot. That is not any time current. No, it's just been all Barca. Vigo. Who is this Vigo team? I mean, I can't compare it. I don't know what league they're in. If you could tell me, that'd be great. Capacity of 93,000 euro. Force to be reckoned with. Key player Daniel Koulibaly. Valued at 56 million. That's interesting. I suppose we've got to take a look at... We've got to take a look at the French league, just because apparently that's the most reputable league. We'll also take a look at the Champions League. Transfer records. Still got a bit to do though. So France first in their group. We can take a look at the international stage as well. PSG are the 4th best team in France. It's Monaco. It's all Monaco. Interesting. Right. Again, I don't really know too much about the French league. It looks like it's the same. If there's any surprise shocks, then again, just let me know. But past winners: Stade Rennais, Nice, Nantes, PSG, Monaco. PSG dominated, from what it looks like. PSG definitely dominated. Records: most time winners Paris Saint-Germain, most points 104. Yeah, these are all fairly new records. Most goals in the season, that was back in 1970, but 44 is not bad at all. Youngest player, 16 years of age. Right, let's have a look at the Champions League. Holders Leicester City. Now that is a shock. That's a massive shock. Dortmund, from Real Madrid won it, then Arsenal won it 2 times in a row. Let's try and get to the first shock. Man United, a mid-table English club, have managed to win the Champions League. You would have thought it. Nantes, that's a shock. FC Nantes, Montpellier. Yeah, you can tell right now that they are dominating. French football is dominating Europe. The Vigo team have won the Champions League. Jesus. That's amazing. I don't know who this Vigo team is. This is incredible. That's pretty cool, that. is very cool. Records. Ronaldo, no one's going to beat those 17 goals. Youngest player, 16 years and 1 day, literally. Jeez, like, that's amazing. He's playing in the Champions League against Barcelona. Bloody hell. Most clean sheets, 10. That's got to be that is a record. That's a stupid thing to say. Oldest goal scorer Ronaldo scored at 38 years of age. It'd be interesting to see Ronaldo's career. It won't show us, but just look here. 356 goals in 431 games. So now I'd say we have a look at... Oh, I don't think they've... Yeah, it doesn't look like Rashford had a good career then. Mbappe. No, let's think about bigger names. Let's just go for Dybala. Paulo Dybala, how did he get on? In the future. He just became a Juventus legend, pretty much. 453 games. Trying to think of some other players. Paulo Dybala. Neymar, I suppose we may as well take a look at Neymar. Nearly played 500 games for Barcelona. He was a coach. Yeah, so he retired at 68 years of age. Did Messi become a coach at all? Lionel Messi. No, he retired as a player, but he played 593 games. That is incredible. Right, what we'll do... what is that spelling? Well, we'll take a look down. We'll go down the English divisions, and if you see any shocks, then just put it in the comments. But I'm trying to find how we can get to the leagues. I'd imagine Skybet Championship. Right. When it loads. Looking at Bristol here, they're in the Championship. They've got a very good team. I mean, I'm only looking at values. That could be completely wrong, but Everton were in the playoff final versus Southampton. Things like that. League table. So that is the Championship. Tottenham, yeah, see, this is what I mean. Tottenham are in the Championship. Leyton Orient, who've just got relegated in real life, or I think they're going to get relegated, are floating around in the top half of the Championship. I'm trying to see if we can I suppose we just have to type in Skybet League 1 holders Bolton. 18 goals. I don't think that's very good in 46 games. See, one thing I thought is that players would just get better throughout the years, but that's not the case here. It's just sort of stayed the same. It doesn't look like there's been any players like Messi or Ronaldo, but if I make a part 2 to this, we can have a further look. But yeah, this is League 1. Sunderland, I suppose, but they've just got relegated. No real shocks. But let's do one last look. Well, actually, we're going to do the World Cup after this. Just have a quick look at the World Cup, and that will be it. Right, Skybet League 2. Grimsby have just got promoted. Any shocks? Any shocks at all? Not that I can see, to be quite honest. I mean, Wealdstone from the lower leagues, Conference South. But yeah, let's take one quick look at what the World Cup. Brazil, of course, winning it. Past winners. Yeah, it's what you'd expect, to be honest. Portugal winning the World Cup after winning the Euros. Croatia. Mexico. I didn't see those two at first. Portugal again. England winning it 3 or 4 times. It's good for England. Let's take a look at the England team. In fact, yeah, let's take a look at it. Oh god, that is a very good team. This guy's apparently English. He's contracted to Arsenal. I mean, he's not playing like a £60 million striker, but oh well. I think that about wraps it up. If you do want to see a part 2 to this, just put it in the comments and just put what you want to see next. Whether you want to see me have a look at the conference, or even take a job. Is there any jobs available? Job centre. No big ones stand out, but I can just add myself as a manager. But yeah, again, if you want to have a look for yourself, I'll leave the download link in the description, as well as the guy who actually simmed 100 years. His channel in the description. Be sure to check him out. See you in my next video.